Hi, and welcome to this demo of Japplis Toolbox Pro. Japplis Toolbox Pro is a software for Windows, macOS, and Linux that helps you to manipulate text. So you have more than 50 tools. So here I'm going to start with one of them, which is in the encoder decoder. So if I tap less than one, here I've selected URL and then encoding, and then I press play, and it will URL encode what I've tapped as input. Can choose from different parts. For example, I can decide to go with XML encoding. So you see I've got another result. And if I select live, basically it will translate the text or do the transformation as I type. So and you see that it's also do it as I type. So here are a few examples: base64, query parameters, rotation 13, Unicode, and so on. So this for the encoding decoding part. Then you can also process different lines. So let's say I have two lines. I can either sort them, shuffle them, give a prefix with number. Also, I can delete duplicate lines, trim space, join the lines, and so on. And if you see, this button is basically also to put the output back into the input. So I have the input, and I can decide to, for example, join the lines and so on. With patterns, so let's pick up this again. With pattern, oh yeah, also put it there. So I can also, for example, add some extra text. So for example, I can prefix it. So let's see, you'll see that now it's prefixed with what I've written a pattern, but I can also, for example, a suffix, keep the line with a specific regular expression. So the pattern can also be a regular expression for some things. Remove the line with a specific regular expressions, and so on. Splits only the lines, only the part that match the regular expression to keep, and so on. So for text characteristic, I can also, for example, count the number of characters here, or the number of words, number of lines, and so on. MD5, for example, of this text is this. Then properties, you will have like system properties. Then you have the swing properties also that you will be able to see, and the environment properties. You can search with it. So character, it's more like the different character of Unicode. So you can decide here it's a standard, so I'm based on UTF-8, but you can choose some other encoding, and you can go with some extensions here, and you'll see the character, it is the hexadecimal number of it, the decimal number of it, and then you can also filter if you only want to have lowercase, uppercase, and so on. So finding files is basically to, if you provide some files, it will find the file that contains a specific pattern. And macro is basically if you want to combine, instead of doing manually to, like I did for lines, to put it back and to process again. With a macro, you can create a macro, and you can pile the different operation in one operation. Then if you go into the settings, so in this case, I've always used text input as a text area. You can line on wrap lines or not. But you can also decide to be the clipboard. Then the system will detect when the clipboard change, the text inside the clipboard, the system clipboard changes, and will process again the data. Then you can also provide files. So say every time there's a new file in this directory with a specific pattern, just process it, or just specify one specific file. And if it's a zip or a GZ file, basically don't process the compressed file, but first uncompress it. Similar thing with the output. So basically you can output like I did in the text area. So again with the wrapping of the line or not option, but you can also output to the clipboard. into a directory, so each time it's processed it will create a new file, or you can also process into a file and then append the result every time to this file. Or you can also decide to show the file browser, for example. So let's go with a file browser, and if I process the same part here, you'll see you ask me from, okay, where do you want to save the result? In this case, I'm not going to save it, so here it goes. Yes, thank you for watching. Bye.